So your goal is to really raise a likable child who gets smiles and compliments from the outside world, who gets invited for play dates. So you're doing them a big favor when you teach limits and boundaries. Now, when we're angry and frustrated, we tend to use what I call ineffective discipline. One of the things that parents sometimes do is their child acts up and they give them the cold shoulder. They stop calling them names of endearment. They kind of back away from them emotionally. They don't look at them. This is a great way to discipline your spouse. They understand exactly what this is about. Children don't. All they know is you've withdrawn. They don't know how to get you back. They don't even know why you've withdrawn. Another ineffective form of discipline is to play the indignant card, where you find yourself saying things to your child like, I took you to Disneyland last weekend. What do you mean you won't do your homework tonight or get in the bath? As if there is a quid pro quo there. I took you to Disneyland so you would do your homework. Or I hear parents say to their kids, I am such a good and loving parent to you. I can't believe that you're not following my directions. As if those two things are supposed to go together. So indignance doesn't register with kids because it really doesn't make any sense. Another ineffective way of disciplining is what I call the stormtrooper approach. So your child starts whining and you say, I want to be a good and patient parent. So you don't do anything. And of course they're still whining because you haven't done anything. And then you have to grit your teeth and clench your fists and go, I can handle this. I am a good and patient parent. And you still haven't done anything, so they're still whining. And then you've had it, and you start yelling at them, stop that whining, I can't believe you're doing that again. And they go, whoa, I've been doing this for 20 minutes, and you didn't say anything, and now all of a sudden you're so angry at me. So it's really too much, too late. What about physical means of discipline? Does it work? Yes, it does. You didn't read ahead on that one. If you want your child to do something or stop doing something, just hit him upside the head and you're going to get the points. But there are a couple problems with this. One of the problems is that you can build fear and resentment in your child. And when they get old enough to decide whether they want to have a relationship with you, you don't know which way they're going to go. I know some of you sitting here probably had corporal punishment from your parents, and you say, oh yeah, but I love them anyway. But there are other people sitting here who moved thousands of miles away from a parent who was harsh in that way, because they don't really want to have anything to do with them. And you don't know how it's going to turn out until it's too late to do anything about it. It also doesn't make a lot of sense to children. We are trying to teach children not to be violent. How often do you say, use your words, don't hit, use your words? And yet, some parents will say, I'll teach you not to hit, whack, whack. I also had an 11-year-old girl in my practice who, she said it so well. Her mother, she was 11 and very pre-adolescent, and we all know what pre-adolescent girls are like. And she had, you don't? Okay.
I'm headed straight for that.
Okay.
All ears.
They can be very sassy. And she had been very sassy with my mom.
I didn't say we're talking about my 5-year-old, right?
No, okay, but wait, just wait. And the mom actually slapped her across the face. And the girl said to her, which was so smart, I don't get it. When you're mad at Dad, you don't hit him. And when you're mad at Grandma, you don't hit her. And when you're upset with my teachers, you wouldn't hit them. What makes you feel like you can hit me? Which is just such good common sense. Another Another reason that we shy away from physical discipline is a study came out of Harvard a couple of years ago that children who are disciplined primarily by corporal punishment have their IQs lowered. And they think it's because they weren't taught problem-solving skills. And finally, you can get into a lot of trouble legally if you hit your kids or are physical with them. And it's usually not by a parent who's, you know, hanging them up by their wrists or something. It's usually something much more mild that the parent just believes in and the kid unintentionally rats them out. And I've had this happen with a couple of different families, really nice families like you guys, who try hard to be good parents. One was a dad who was raised with corporal punishment, and he just believed in spanking. And his 10-year-old daughter went off to camp, and she told her bunkmate that her father hits her. And the friend told the counselor told the camp director, and the camp director called the LA Police Department. And they went out to their house, they took their other children into protective custody. They made the father move out, and many, many, many thousands of dollars later, he went to court and was allowed back into the house. He had to have parent training and all kinds of conditions. Then I had another family where it was a little girl, she was about 4 years old, and her dad was giving her a timeout. Perfectly fine thing to do. So he took her in her bedroom and he plopped her on her bed. Unfortunately, it had a wrought iron frame and she banged her ankle on it. She went to school the next day wearing sandals and there was a bruise on her ankle. So the teacher said, "Oh, what happened to your ankle?" She says, "My father threw me on the bed." Well, teachers and people like me are mandated reporters. If we think